Fine.
So, good morning to one and all. Honorable Principal, Professor Buchade sir, our esteemed guest of speaker and speaker of today's webinar, Mr. Bastin Robins, my colleague vice principals, faculty members, and all the dear participants. Myself, Dr. P.D. Sonamne, on behalf of Abasaheb Garware College and IQAC, I extend a very warm welcome to you all for this webinar on Data Science Simplified, organized by the IQAC of our college in association with CLEVERINSIGHT, a USA-based data science company. The IQAC of our college believes that lockdown cannot stop our learning process, and so we are organizing several capacity building lectures for our faculty members, and this is another such opportunity given to our staff members to learn a new area of data science. I now request our honorable principal to welcome all the participants and present the concept note of today's webinar. Professor Buchade sir, please.
Yes. Good morning. Can you hear me, Bastin?
Yes.
I can very well hear you.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yes, sir. You can talk.
Hello.
Hello.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Very good morning to one and all. We are here for the webinar on data science. Participants have joined this workshop. Their profession, their mail ID, their affiliating institutions, and so on. And I know this is the 23rd webinar of Bastin Robins on data science. So he might have a data of now 23 such a webinars, a huge collection of data. There are so many situations in the world, in the everyday life, that huge amount of data gets gathered. And then the question is how to extract useful data, useful information, useful insight from such a data. And to get some insight of such a data science, we have this webinar on data science jointly organized by IQAC Abasaheb Garware College and Bastin Robins. On behalf of organizer and Abasaheb Garware College, I welcome all the participants. Friends, as we know, the data science is an interdisciplinary field basically. It uses scientific methods, processes, algorithms, data. Data science is also related to data mining, deep learning, as well as big data. Data science is blooming. Industries, companies are searching for data scientists. The opportunities are plenty for both aspiring are still not entirely aware the multitude of possibilities of being a data scientist. And hence we have to explore what is the data science and what are the different opportunities available in this field. In fact, our Maharashtra Education Society's Abasaheb Garware College where there is a computer science department starting a certificate course on data. MESs have high demand for those which are well versed in data science field, and hence I am confident that through this webinar many participants will go more insight of the field what is known as the data science. I welcome once again all the participants as well as Bastin Robins for this webinar, and on behalf of organizer I thanks one and all. Over to Dr. Sonavne sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your kind words. Now I will present a brief introduction of our esteemed speaker, and then we will hear his very famous lecture on data science. So currently, Bastin Robins is the head of data science and artificial intelligence in CLEVERINSIGHT, a USA-based data science company dealing in problems of healthcare, education, retail, etc. He is responsible for the development of data platform called as Neuron AI currently. He is actively researching on handling unstructured data for FMCG and manufacturing industries. He holds a BE degree in computer science and engineering, and he was such a brilliant student that he became the first Microsoft student partner and conducted several boot camps on the behalf of Microsoft. His skills in Python programming was such that even while doing his graduation, he was asked to teach Python to the students of EMTech. After his graduation, he joined Gramener for a few months, but went on to focus on machine learning. Later on, he founded Harsh Research and collaborated with co-founder of Emphasis, K. Sridharan, to establish CLEVERINSIGHT. He has a vast experience of delivering seminars and webinars related to data science and has uploaded several learning videos on YouTube channel. As our principal have said that this is his 23rd webinar in a series. So it is indeed our luck to have you, sir, on this platform and to listen data science in a simplified way. I welcome you again on behalf of our college and request you to proceed with your lecture. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I should really thank MES College for giving such a beautiful opportunity to address all the people who are interested towards data science. And once again, I should thank Pramod sir, because like more than a data scientist, you have collected a lot more data about me and gave a beautiful profile, which was not given by me. So I feel like you're also budding data scientist in that particular way. So before starting with the session, let me make it one thing very clear. In case if there is any kind of network issues, if the call got disconnected, I'll be rejoining back. And after this particular session is over, there will be a feedback form which will be shared, which should be completed in order to get your e-certificates. So till the session is getting over, I'm going to mute everyone. And once the question answer session comes, definitely I will unmute and take out the questions. So I can go ahead, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So let me share my screen. I hope everyone can see my screen, right?
Yeah. It is visible.
So today's topic is something called Data Science Simplified. You might have heard about a lot more different topics like data science, decoding data science, and advanced data science, machine learning, deep learning, etc. and all. And you very well know that right now in the present day scenario, data scientist job is the sexiest job of 21st century, according to Harvard Business Reviews. The reason why it has become a most important field and moreover most important domain to carry out with this. See, once upon a time, there was computers, there was data science, everything was there, but it was not known to us very much. The reason why we were not able to know about it very much was the data was there, but the computation ability was very less. We were having very less computation ability. So after couple of years, what happened is since last 4, 5, close to 10 years, the hardware prices have crashed down. Even you can get a 60 GB data storage with a small thumbprint size. So when the hardware price crashed down, again, initially what it was called as artificial intelligence and all this different names have come up with a new form and as a new subject itself, that is called data science. So data science is a subject which consists of machine learning, deep learning, NLP, and artificial intelligence. All these 4 branches comes under data science, and data science is a parent branch. So every day we talk about data, and you can see a lot more articles coming here and there about data scientists, data science job is booming, data science job is the most sexiest, etc. and all. So in this particular session, I really want to decode it. I want to make it simplified for everyone. So let me make sure that by end of this session, everyone will be tuned with data. You will be knowing where I can use data science. Even you yourself can become a budding data scientist. So let me take it forward. Data. There is one good saying is there, if there is a good data, if you ask the right question, the data will start telling a story. So it is like data will talk to you if you're willing to listen. So only condition here is you have to ask the right question to the data. Next, data. When it comes to data, most of people will be confused about what kind of data we are talking about. What can really data do for us? So data can be of any format, maybe a tabular format or textual data, audio data, video data. You might have heard about like these days we are completely driven on social media and most of our business are heavily dependent on social media. So every single minute or every single second, there are terabytes of data being generated across different networks. Let it be any domain, let it be a mobile phone, let it be a laptop, everything is generating data. So the basic structure of data is either it is in a tabular format or it is in a textual format or it is an audio format or it's in a video format. Let it be any data. So once the data is being gathered, we cannot do anything with direct data. We need to convert it into information. From information, next comes the knowledge. From knowledge, we learn and we get the wisdom. So that's what data science is all about. You make sense from the data. So let's see, let it be any format of data, whether it is tabular data, textual data, audio data, or video data. End of the day, it will be converted into binary numbers. It's only about zeros and ones. Now, a data scientist's job is about this, handling these zeros and ones and making it more useful for everyone for any kind of business outcomes. So let's see. This is a very simple example. When you take an image is a collection of pixels. Each pixel is nothing but it's a collection of a matrix numbers. So in a very simpler way, I can say an image is nothing but it's a vector of numbers, which is having different numbers. So every single patterns inside particular numbers are identified using a machine. That's what is all about data science, mainly. Now, let's take it one step further. You understood what is a data, from where data comes. Data can come from any part, whether it's your mobile phone or any medium generates data. But according to data science, once we have to take it forward means we need to understand the most important phases of data analytics. That is like in data analytics, there are mainly 4 phases. The first phase is like, for example, if you go to a doctor, and it's mainly for your consultation. During the consultation period, the doctor will first ask you lots of questions. What are your symptoms? How was your BP level last time? What was your cholesterol level? Can you just show me your past history? What are the medicines you took? All these things the doctor will be taking. That particular phase, he's talking about a data which is past, which has already happened. That particular phase is called descriptive phase. Anything which is talking about already known fact or it is past. That phase is descriptive phase. Next phase is after conducting of that particular descriptive analytics, the doctor will ask you one thing. Okay, you just go and finish all these lab tests and come back. So he will give you a list of tests to be conducted. So you will go there and you'll check the current blood sugar value and next cholesterol value. Then next is check out the cholesterol, all the X-rays, etc. in real time. That is in the present real time, whatever they are doing it. That particular phase is called diagnostic phase. That particular phase in analytical form, it's called diagnostic analytics. Anything which is talking about present, the real time. Okay. Now the doctor understood what has happened to you. Now the doctor has seeing what is happening to you in the present day. Now based on this, the doctor predicts what will happen to you tomorrow. It's based on past and present. That particular phase, the doctor will consider, okay, yesterday your blood pressure was this much, today it is like this. Around last week it was like that. Now he will understand like what can happen to you tomorrow. How much your blood sugar level go or how much your cholesterol level will go. The doctor will be able to predict what will happen to you tomorrow. That particular phase is called predictive phase. Now in the present day scenario, these three phases are 90% automatable. Most of machines and most of the software which are built have the ability to do all the three phases automatically. So most people who are the aspiring or inspired data scientists, they always feel that this three phases is something more important I have to focus on. But actually data science is not about that. In these three phases, it's more of the technology is evolved and more of basic statistics is evolved. The most important phase that comes, and that is a fundamental thing for any data scientist, is the next phase. That is the prescriptive phase. Now what happens? Doctor took your past details, presently understood what happens, and he predicts what will happen to you tomorrow. Based on this, the doctor will not tell you tomorrow your blood sugar will be like this or your cholesterol will be like this. Doctor will directly take a prescription pad and write that, okay, just take this medicine morning and evening. Ultimately, your problem will be sorted. So he is converting all his analysis into an action. That particular action is called prescriptive phase. So it is about past, present, future. That flow you have to understand. If you don't know past and present, you cannot predict the future. If you cannot predict the future, you cannot prescribe anything else. Once you understand these four phases across any analytics, let it be any use cases, this is the base fundamental. But only if one difference here is, the last phase is not automatable. The reason is that phase requires lots of domain knowledge. Now I'm talking about a healthcare scenario where a doctor knows what to prescribe. As a CEO, I cannot go and prescribe something. As a transportation minister, I cannot go and prescribe something there. So whichever domain you're focusing on, data science is all about, you find one domain and you become master in it. It is 70% domain knowledge and 30% is about technology used in that. That is what is more about data science. Let me take you a little interesting example. For example, in machine learning, there is one very interesting challenge which is happening. That is like, can I predict the survived person during Titanic incident? I don't know how many of them remember Titanic. So let me take you through that. So this is a kind of data which was gathered during Titanic incident. For example, during Titanic incident, the passengers list was being there. So in this particular passengers list, this is the kind of typical data it was given. Their name was there, their age was there, the gender was there, and there was one column called survived or non-survived. Like this, it was there. But what happens is in the present day machine learning community, this is one of the entry-level challenge which most of people have to work on. You can see like row number 6 and 7, whether they have survived or not, we don't know. We don't know whether they have survived. So what happens is like people start building a lot of machine learning model to predict that two questions, whether they are survived or not, and how much accurately I am able to predict. Right? So my screen is visible, right, for everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened was like when the prediction was happening, the model, whatever it was used to predict that particular two columns, survived or non-survived cell, was only able to give 70% accuracy. But you know, like we have to get somewhat around 80-90% accuracy in order to believe that this prediction was correct. So what happened? In this particular scenario, what happened was they added one new more column into it because that data set is limited and it is a history that we don't get more data from that. Now we need more data in order to increase the accuracy. Then only we'll able to predict how much better it is. So what happens is the machine learning team, a lot of machine learning engineers, they created one new column from this particular data set. That is like, you can see here, kids, number of kids. So how this is happening? So this is the condition. If the gender is female and the age is between 18 to 25, chances of having kid is 1. And if it is a male, chances of having kid is, so in this context, we are not looking into male, we are only looking into females with kids. So what happens is the next question, next binning is, if the gender is female and age is between 25 and 35, the number of kids can be 2. Then next condition, if gender is female and age is between 35 to 45, chances of having kids is 3+. So based on this, the data was created. One particular column, the kids column was created. Now when this same data was executed or it was trained onto a machine learning model, like a model is nothing but it learns from your experiences. The predicted outcome was 90% accuracy. The reason why it was able to predict 90% accuracy, not because just we added one column into it. That column was having a very significant reason. That is like during Titanic incident, the lifeboats was given for women with kids. So any women who was having a kid was given the first priority and they were given the lifeboats. So chances of they getting survived are pretty high. Fine. So this particular type of challenges what we solve in machine learning are called supervised learning. Here, what is supervised learning? Supervised learning is nothing but I am having all these column names, right? ID, name, age, gender, and survive. These columns, these are called labels. If the data is having a label, and if I am going to predict another one label based on all other labels, that kind of learning is called supervised learning. Now, you can understand this name is a cardinal, it's an identifier. Age is a discrete value. Gender is a binary, or like you can keep it as a categorical, male and female. Survived or not is also a binary variable. So if you want to predict a binary variable, that is a regression problem or logistic regression problem. If you want to predict a classification, for example, right now we were predicting yes or no. If I want to predict male or female, now this is a classification problem. If I want to go and predict any number, that is a regression problem. So in machine learning, there are two types. One is either you have to predict a class or you have to predict a number. So here you can very well see that ID, name, age, and gender, all these things are labels which are already there. So we are going to predict another label and one particular value which is missing, more than one value which is missing. These kinds of problems in machine learning are called supervised learning, where you are going to predict a label. Now comes to the next point. Here, I have removed the label. Okay, so there is no name, there is no age, there is no gender, nothing. There is one data given. Now I cannot understand what type of data it is. Like by just looking into MF, I can understand, okay, it's a discrete, it's a gender or etc. I cannot understand what is a 0, 1, 2, 3. I don't have a label. Now, this data, if I take and put it into a model, that model will run through it and find similarities inside that and group them. That grouping will be different clusters. What these clusters are formed, how these clusters are formed are nothing but based on certain similar aspects, it creates separate groups. Now these groups, I'm going to create it. This type of challenge are called unsupervised learning. That means I don't know what I am going to predict, but I am going to put a data into a model and it is going to group it based on certain similarities and give me few clusters. That type of challenge is called supervised learning. Once you form a cluster, then again it is becoming a supervised learning problem because each cluster you got a label. You can take it to again back to a supervised learning. In machine learning, these are the basic fundamentals. In the entire data science, prediction happens based on these two main algorithms. There's two important types of algorithms. Now, enough of general basics. Now you will be thinking about how can I benefit from this data? As an organization, when most of people, I can see most of the participants are faculties and a lot of them are from industries. Now, most probably you might have heard about this buzzwords like data science is everything, but I don't know where I am, what I am doing. Can I really use the data? Or should I learn advanced algorithm to use it? So exactly this webinar is for you. So what we are going to do is the first question which comes is how can I benefit from this data? Or which tool I should use for data science? Next, the most important thing which we need to understand is tools are important, but technique is everything in data science. You don't need to learn a new tool to become a data scientist. You can use an existing tool, whichever is there. For example, my favorite tool, which I really love, is spreadsheets. The spreadsheets, which are really being treated very carelessly. Most of people think that's old age technology, but even most of data scientists really do agree that you should always have a great skills with your spreadsheets. So let's see deep dive into it. Now, we have understood enough about basic theory about what data science is about, what we are trying to do, etc. Let's go a little more deeper now. Consider in a real business case scenario. This is Richard. He is a CEO of SimplyBuy. SimplyBuy is a company. In order to build reliable business, he has few business requirements for data science team to make better decisions. So I'm going to stimulate a kind of environment here. That is, consider Richard is a person who is having a company called SimplyBuy, and he is the CEO of it. And he has a couple of questions to ask to the data science team every day in order to make his business operation much better. Let's see what are his questions. First is, can I know which products can sell together? Second question is, can anyone help our HR team to shortlist resumes faster and save time? You know that like every day for a big companies like Google and Flipkart, Amazon, per day the number of resumes which comes is a pile of resumes. And you have to go to manually to filter one person. So Richard is asking, is there any way where I can solve this particular issue in the simplest way? Next question is, what are the customer feedback about a product across geographies? So let's take these three challenges and understand these are the three business problems which Richard has. Based on these three problems, let's see where the data will come from. Fine. So let me go back. Yeah. So the data comes for first question is, can I know which products can sell together? So, okay, the data can be retrieved from SimplyBuy inventory. We have an inventory which will be having all this data. Next is, can anyone help our HR team to shortlist resumes faster? Okay. Candidate applications can be retrieved from the job portal databases. Next thing is, what are the customer feedbacks about our product across geographies? Data can be gathered from hashtags, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Google search. Based on one hashtag, if you give it, you get almost all the data. Now, let's convert them into one problem. First one, similar product. That means SimplyBuy is a store which is having a huge collection of products which are similar type or different brands. Now, I really need to know if I'm going to buy a fast track watch in my website. I should be able to get similar type of product to the customer. I should not only give him only one type of product. I have to give him similar type of product so that if that product he doesn't like it, immediately he'll get another option. Okay, these are the other products which are cheaper to buy. You might have seen in Amazon or Flipkart, when you go and try to search for one type of watch, you will get similar type of watch with the same price in the bottom as a recommendation. Let's see how it works. Let's take a simple data. Can you see there is one table which is having two columns. User column is having 1 to 10. Each number represents one customer. And next column is item ID. I mean, every product inside our store is having an ID. So based on that, for example, user 1 bought apple, user 2 bought orange, user 3 bought apples, user 4 also bought grapes. Likewise, we have a huge data. Now from this data, I want to see what are my common recommendations. I mean, like, can I recommend similar type of product for others? Yes. Let's convert this data into a transpose kind of thing, like a pivot. So what I did is very simple. I just renamed, I mean, like labeled every 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2 into names. And I took this item IDs as columns. So James bought apple. James didn't bought orange. So 1 represents he bought it. 0 represents he didn't bought it. So likewise, James bought pineapple. James bought grape. James bought milk. Then Tim bought apple. Sorry, Tim didn't bought apple. He didn't bought orange. So this is the data which we get it. Think it like it's a small set. It can be big set also. I'm just doing it on a simple MS Excel sheet. Okay. So we got a data structured into that form. From this first form to the second form, we have transferred it. Now, very simple option is like, let me put a condition statement. Let me put a color. It's a conditional formatting in Excel. Now you can see there is certain types of pattern which are revealing. What are those patterns? Let's see. These are the recommendations. James and Rick have similar choices. Rick may like milk as well. You can see here very well. James likes apple and Rick also likes apple. James likes pineapple. Rick also likes pineapple. James likes grapes. Rick also likes grapes. James doesn't like milk. Rick likes milk. So the thing is like up to 80% of data, like their similar interests are commonly matching. Now I can understand these two types of customers are similar type of customers. So I can recommend them whatever James has not bought, I can recommend whatever Rick has bought. Now Grace and Tommy have similar choice. Like she may like grapes as well. You can see Gracie and Tommy are also having similar likes, but Gracie has not taken milk. So, but Tommy has taken milk. So ultimately she may like it. Mike and Danny has similar choice. Mike may like apple as well. So as Danny likes apple, even Mike also there is a chance that he may like apple. So what I do is I convert these kinds of insights into recommendation and I push to the customer. So when they buy a milk, immediately I show the list of all the things what Danny also bought in the left. So for two persons, I'm comparing like and seeing a correlation how both of their interests are. If I'm comparing with the millions of users with millions of products, I build a better recommendation. This is now I can understand that I can recommend similar products. This was the question which Richard was having. So the first problem is solved. Now let's go to the next question. It is like HR resume source scoring. Simplify is a growing exponentially company. For example, any big company, any MNC company per day receives a pile of resumes. You can see resumes per day, maybe even in 10,000 resumes, you will get it. So you have a very small HR team and you have to make very optimal decision. Like I don't want my team to spend each and every time on each and every resume. Can I shortlist this? Can I simplify this? Can machine learning and data science help us? Yes. Let's see how it works. Now let's take a resume. Okay, a resume is nothing but a digital format which is having a textual content. Now let me do a simple processing and convert all the paragraphs. I mean, like take all the text from that particular resume and convert it into a paragraph. After converting into a paragraph, let me remove all the stop words like the, is, not, said, all these things, stop words, I will remove it from it. And I will only pick the keywords. Now, let me score the keywords. See to it, all the important keywords, whatever I needed, are being there. If it is there, how many times it has been occurring in the entire paragraph? For example, here 4 times. So here I have kept the scorecard. If it is a C programming, C++ someone is putting, I will give 5 marks. If someone is putting Python, I will give 5 marks. If someone is putting MS Excel, 2 marks. And if someone is putting pivot table, I will give 3 marks. Because I don't want someone who generally put a keyword like MS Excel. I want someone who have to put very specific terminologies inside that particular technology. That is why you can see here, if someone is putting machine learning, it is 3. If someone is putting neural network, that is 3.5. So anything deeper knowledge or deeper subtopic it's coming, I'm going to give more marks. So based on this, each resume, I am doing a frequency count and I'm calculating a score like this. Once I calculate the score, the next one is I'm doing it for all the resumes. It is everything, a very simple program will do it. So I can see here, like for each customer, like I'm getting Mike, what is the score? 23.5. Jack, what is the score? Kevin, and I have sorted in a descending order. Now, in this phase, it is not done. One more thing I want to do. I want to see how his personal characters, like what kind of person is, what is his interest are. These things your resumes will not tell. So what I do, I directly source those information from your different social medias. So from social medias, the new 2 more column has been created that what is his personality? He's a social buff. What are his interests? Political, sports. And Jack is more quiet person. He's very artistic in mindset. Kevin is an extrovert. He's politically, is more interested around politics and public. So now I got their interests. Finally, very simple thing is, now I just need to sort the column of our choice and pick the top 10 candidates whom I want to interview. This is the reason most of people, when you go and apply for a career job, like career portal or job portal, you put in their resume, you won't be getting a response back, because even ourselves, we are doing it every day. We get lots of resume, even from IIT. Most of resumes come from IIT, but still we don't take it. The reason is, like, we don't have the time to open that much resumes. So what we do is we simplify this process by doing such kind of thing. Now can you see, I have simplified the process of Richard, and Richard's team will be pretty much happy. Every day 10 list will come, only that 10 candidates I have to go and pick, do a interview. Next, different types of customers. Can I know what are the different types of customers I'm having in our store? Simply Buy is a very big e-commerce store. There are different types of customers. Like, I want to see high paying customers separately, price conscious customers separately, or quality conscious customers separately. When I know them, I can customize the offers and discounts according to them. So what I do a lot of things, like what the customer does in my website, take every single clicks and links, whatever actions they are doing inside the website, I'm taking all the data. Now that particular data comes in this. This is like number one is this. One is the customer ID and willingness. These are the parameters which I have calculated. That is willing to switch, importance of price, importance of brand, frequency of shopping, loyalty, usage levels, ad awareness, sales promo report. Like this, I have taken a data. Now, should I make a segment? I apply a very simple k-mean clustering algorithm. That's this unsupervised learning algorithm, which will give me a result like this. I have 4 different types of customers, and 4 different types of customers are, one is high paying, low paying segments, then price conscious segments. Like that, I segmented my customers. Now, Richard got an idea which are the areas I have good customer base, where I am very much lagging. I can work more on promoting my business to those type of segments. So here also Data Science simplified the task. Next, the most important thing is, Richard is very interested to know what is customers' opinion about Simply Buy across the country or across the geographies. So what he does, he cannot go everyone and ask that, okay, do you like the product? Do you like the product? Is there any issues like that? So what he decided to contact the data science team, and data science team just jumps into this particular problem statement by first gathering all the information from social media, right? When you give a hashtag, ultimately all the social media data related to those hashtags can be scraped. We can scrape it. Once the data has been scraped, next thing what I do is I got 1 million or 10 million data points. Now I cannot go each line by line to read it. I just want one very simple metric. That is, can I score them? Can I understand whether they are talking positive or negative or neutral? So based on that, I score each data. Now, after scoring it, next thing is I'm just putting a chloropleth. I understood that CA and PA, these are the 2 places there is like negative sentiments are high. I don't know why. So I really need to drill deeper into those areas to understand what is happening in those locations. So when I understand these things, I can see sitting from one place, I can really take a lot more decisions. I'm just taking 1 second of break to admit all others who are waiting. 50 people are admitting. Okay. So you can see here what happens is like I have taken a data which is raw in the format and I converted into I just did a sentiment analysis on their text and I converted into an insight where right now I can overall have a bird eye view of what is my product's response in the market. Okay, now let's go a little more deeper. This is where the most important thing comes about, like, can I make the data in action? Can I see the data in action? How data can help us? Let's see. One very interesting thing which we found was after implementation of GST, rate of HIV/AIDS transmission reduced. It is pretty much a very interesting thing. I'm not pro Modi or against Modi. I'm like telling that GST rates after GST has been introduced, HIV/AIDS transmission has reduced. You know what is the reason? I'll tell you. So let me go to next level. I hope most of people could have seen this particular session. This is called an octroi. Octroi is nothing but in the initial days what happens before GST. When you cross one state to another cross, all the trucks has to be in the check post where there is sales tax, customs tax, different tax will be there. They have to finish all the formalities to cross the borders. So what happens is then this kind of state borders, there are lots of vehicles piled up like anything. And these are the areas where lots of drivers, all these people are traveling. And when we checked what is next, when we understood what are the major age transmission reasons are, one are the sex workers. They are the one who are having the highest, they are the one who contribute for higher number of HIV/AIDS transmission. The next second highest are the truck drivers. So what happens here is, when a truck is standing here, these are the locations where the sex workers are very active. So out of 50 to 60% of truck drivers are affected with STDs, and they carry that infection to different location of India. And through that, the HIV spread was very high. You won't believe the recent study when they randomly picked around 50 drivers and they tested at close to 35 to 40% of drivers were having STDs. So how can GST make a big impact in that? Very simple thing. After GST was introduced, these trucks are not standing in lines. They are just passing this check post pretty much faster, and there is no buffer time of waiting here. So that waiting. The data was telling that beautiful story. Let's go next. Can we see how shoppers move across shopping malls? See, we were doing one analytics where what a shopping mall, when you enter into a shopping mall, you are being given a free Wi-Fi. I think when the Jio came, ultimately most of people forget about the olden days where the Wi-Fi will be connected in a shopping mall. So we start using it. So next time when you just visit that shopping mall, just like a window shopping also, your again mobile is being registered based on your MAC ID. So based on that, we did one analysis to see can I understand certain things from this? Let's see. Let me share that screen. Share it. Let me go to, yeah. So this is one very interesting analysis. We did one model in which can I understand people movement across the mall? You can see people who are coming from outside. The thicker the line is, that means the more number of people go towards that. Most people go to the fresh products. You know very well, when our homes are located near to a shopping mall, ultimately most of the time we go for grocery shopping to the mall because it's pretty much easy where I can carry out everything. So most stores will be in the front. So I can see most people come for fresh products. Okay. When they come for fresh products, after that, where they go? After coming to fresh products, the majority of people will go to meats and poultry. Fine. Now, from meats and poultry, they go to dairy meats. Likewise, you can see when you go to different places, like I can understand people movement across where they're going, and from apparel, if they're coming, where are they going from one place to another. But one very interesting thing which we found was, after reaching to this particular shop, they decided to stop the shopping and go back. And we were thinking, like, what was the reason? Like, why this is happening? Is there any kind of reason why only this shop they are coming and they're ending their shopping and going back? Then we just checked around the situation and we understood that you can see almost all the desserts and snacks and everything are around that. It is nothing but here nuts and snacks are very much near to it. It is a beer and wine shop. So most people who come for shopping, what they think is like at the end of shopping, let me go and collect the alcohol and go out, or else I have to carry it towards entire shopping mall I have to carry. So let me decide at the last. That is in my last shopping list. So they will come to this place, finally they finish the shopping and go back. So this is one very interesting thing which a data was trying to tell something. It's telling a story from that. Let me come back. Now we understood how people move on a shopping cart. This is one very interesting thing. Can we see how people double deal services? So one webinar which we conducted around a few months back, what we did is like we collected a feedback form. In that feedback form, what happened is the link was open. So anyone after the webinar can share the feedback form and start filling the details to get an e-certificate. So let's see what kind of analysis we can do from that particular data. Let me share that. Okay, let me open it. Stop sharing. Let me share this. I hope everyone can see my screen.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you can see here, like this is a data set which we collected during that thing. So for example, you can see this was the date, and I think, okay, this was a date, and this was the different questions like asking effective lecture, yes, agree or not agree. Effective presentation, agree or not agree. And interest, what is the interesting thing, whether are you wishing to attend this webinar further, and reason for attending, overall rating, resignation. So what thing which we found was like let's do little data cleaning here. So we took this data and removed unnecessary things. So we don't want to keep the information. So consider this 1, 2, 3, 4, the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the user ID. We did a very simple analysis onto it. Let's take this thing and let's go down. Let's make a simple conditional format. That is not, I'm going to put one condition here that I want to see all the people who strongly disagree. Agree. Okay, and I'm going to give a color for them as a red color. Okay, I got it. Now I'm going to again add one more thing, that is like equal to someone who could only disagree. Okay. Now I got a couple of people who are disagreeing. Then what we did is we did a very simple scoring, that is like these are the comments they have given, and these comments we converted into sentiments. So we create a particular column called polarity. That means it's a range between -1 and 1 and 0. 0 means the comment is neutral. If it is 1 means the session, it is a good feedback. I mean like positive sentiment. If it is negative means it's a negative sentiment. I mean like he doesn't like it. So we did one more thing, like we did a very simple conditional formatting for this also. I'm telling you like how interesting a data can become. Okay. Now, let me, okay. Here only one person has given a negative sentiment of -6. Okay, great. Let me do a very simple, and one more thing here, it is given overall rating. Let me give it as one more color. Okay, the more greener it is, it's 5, and 4 it is. If it is minus, it will be in red color. So let me take only these 3 sections and do a very simple filtering. Okay, let me do a very simple filter, and let me find, okay, from this I only want to get people who disagree and who strongly disagree. Okay, now here is the interesting thing. The lecture was good, no, strongly disagree. Whether the lecture was, presentation was good, strongly neutral, but overall rating is 5. Okay, and that if you go, it is like very good. Here one person is, sir, it's very impressed, I'm so happy to be webinar, love the part of it. But one thing what happened here is, they have given us negative things. But the thing is, like, the feedback was given two different contrasts. That is, most of things was disagreed, but thing is their actual comments is very good. You can go throughout it entirely. All these people, around close to 70 to 80% of people have never attended session itself. They are the one who blindly given a comment without just trying to flunk around. So the thing is, like, we were trying to see how much people can really think on these areas. So this was a very interesting thing. So you can see all the comments and their feedbacks are totally contrast. And here they are given overall rating. You can see even one. Okay, this person has given 2, fine. But still, okay, this can be a genuine thing. This is a very genuine thing, because their feedback, whatever given, as well as the overall polarity score, as well as the rating they have given, is somewhat really going one-on-one. But rest of all things are nothing but, after the webinar is finished, they shared the links to others, and they start adding their details into it to get an e-certificate from that. So this is one pretty interesting use case. Let me go back to our main. Okay, we saw how people use double deal service. Can we see the important characters in Game of Thrones? I hope, like, Game of Thrones was one of the most interesting, most excited series. I think most people will definitely agree with it. So we did one analysis onto it, and let's see how it is. Can I understand the most important character from Game of Thrones? Let me close this, and let me close this, and let me resume screen share. Okay, so can you see here? This is nothing but it's a network diagram. Okay, what a network diagram does is, the bigger the circle is, the more influential that person is, the more strongly he's been enhanced. So if I come here and see, he's the big circle. If I hover on it, I can just pull him out. He is Tyrion. Can you see here? Every single node is one person who is connected. So the entire session, series are mainly concerned and connected onto. So he's one of the main role. So these, you can see when I'm hovering on this particular person, it will give the name of the person. Likewise, each and every single point is exactly telling about one person. So this is one person. You can see here it is. When I hover onto it, it's John. Now if I hover on this person, it is Dania. If I hover on this, Arya. So the thing is, like, I can understand how much strongly one person is attached to all other characters in this entire series. So these are the most important things. So can I see any another, can I make any interesting use case from this? Consider in the present day COVID-19 situation, coronavirus. Most people are just hearing about different facts like contact tracing, etc., and all these things. The same use case can be used here. It's like the person who is the middle, how many people he has really contacted with. I can pull them separately like this out. These are the people whom I'm just very strongly connected. Rather than going and finding any other colors, let me pick this person and his connections. This is a contact tracing. Same application can be used for that kind of solving abilities. Then we try to do something different. Can I find best programmers across country. So what we did is, this is one very interesting thing. So this is a network diagram where I can see when I hover onto it, each and every single node is one person. Okay. So if I pull this particular person out, their entire people come. So I can understand how much closely he is connected to the network. Now, if some kind of anomaly you want to identify or you want to go and filter it, okay, I want to find good Python programmers in Bangalore. I filter it off. Let me give some more space and gap into it. So little more it get increased. So these are people who are not connected much. They are very independent contributors. But there are some potential people when I hover onto it. This is like Baiju Mukunda or like Grace Kumar. If I pull him, I get all the people who are relevant to him. Right? So this is one pretty interesting use case. And let me come back. Can we see something different? Let me open Apple Mobility. Have my screens visible?
It is, it is.
Okay. Let me have it all once again. So let me hide it this side. Now, one very interesting thing which we were looking is on this particular data set, that is MES Excel. Okay. Let me share the screen. Yeah. So recently Apple released a data set which is about their mobility. That means throughout this particular COVID situation, they were looking into people's movement across different country and they calculated an average for each. So this is a data set which is being given by Apple itself. So how many people have used their maps during this COVID situation. So based on that, they've given this data set. Let's do a very simple analysis using Excel itself. Let me go and do a coloring. Okay. Now, here the most interesting thing is, this is a column which is having, let me come back. This is the region, this is the type mode of transportation, this is the country. Now I can see when I reduce the size of this particular visualizations, you can see this country, the red color it has been, they stopped most of their traveling and walking. They imposed lockdown in this particular time. So let's see which country it is. So when I just come on this side, you can see which country it is, like Hong Kong. Hong Kong and Hong Kong, they have taken a pre-measure before COVID itself to stop most of things. So the lockdown started from that day. So when I go deeper and deeper, you can see here China comes. That lockdown was just imposed, and all other countries, you can see after WHO announced the COVID situation, they stopped they stopped traveling much and all these things happen. But you can see very interestingly some green patches in the middle it comes. So when we look into it, this green patches represent the Saturdays and Sundays. During Saturdays, Sundays, they are like there is high number of people moving here and there. But there are these countries, like even though there was a lockdown being announced, these countries have already given the permission for the people, and they're not restricted them from, like Japan. Now, when I go deeper and deeper, I can see most of interesting factors come, lot of patterns start appearing here. So what I'm telling is, here a data is actually showing a story. It's trying to narrate a story. When you ask the right question, it starts generating it. Let me come back to my board and see. This is one very simple thing. This is like when you go to Google and search for why is dash so. So dash can be anything. You can put any state. So we tried putting state names of each people, of each states in India. It's like why is Kerala so, why is Tamil Nadu so, why is Maharashtra so, like that. And based on that, we start building a use case. So this was the answer for it. So if you ask why is Kerala so, God's own country, this is the common thing. Then why is Tamil Nadu so, against Hindi? Then why is Karnataka so? Why is Andhra so? So these are the patterns which start generating from Google itself. So Google Trends starts generating these kinds of data. Based on that, we start plotting it. It dynamically changes every month based on what kind of keywords are being trending. So what I am trying to tell here is data science is not only about machine learning and deep learning, it's about understanding of data better and ability to generate a story from that. So you can see this entire data science scenario. There is a yellow color box called ML code. So only most of institutions are focusing on only that yellow color box, but this ecosystem is very much bigger. It is having a lot more things. It's about domain knowledge more. It's about code and everything is last 20%. Most of domain knowledge and ability to interpret from the data. That is what is more of data science. And if a data is not able to give a business outcome, then that is really useless. So here I am telling is data science is about more of business outcomes. Business outcome is more important than just any techniques. Whether you use MS Excel to solve a problem or you use advanced technology platform to solve a problem, it depends upon you. But I always believe tools are nothing, technique is everything. So thank you. And I'm here. You can leave your feedbacks in this particular URL. I will share it in the Zoom link. And I'm open for questions right now. You can post your questions in the chat. Yeah. One question is in the doubt playing. What about the people giving the good remarks in effective perception, but still have not attended? Yeah, see, like any analysis is not about like finally pinpointing. It's about overall understanding about certain types of interesting factors from that particular analysis. Okay, cloud computing related to data science. Yes, these days cloud computing is more related to data science because we have a lot more data, but we don't have enough capacity to handle it in our own system. So we use cloud for most data science operations. Where do you get the latest data sets? Data sets are like most of data sets are something which are curated. Some are which we worked with different types of people and we got it. The role of data scientist to be decided, the role of a data scientist to decide the feature and come to conclusion. Yes, exactly. Model building is a machine learning engineer's task. A data science task is about making sense from the data. How data science can be used in NLP. NLP is purely about natural language processing. You could have seen the polarity score which I calculated based on the their comments. I calculated a polarity score. That's purely an NLP only. So it's purely data science. It's spreadsheet always secure in data science. Spreadsheet on cloud, I don't know. But on your system, it is one of the most essential tools which I always recommend. What do you call that algorithm as? Actually, it's not like an algorithm which we have worked out on. We built our own internal systems based on that. How can I access Twitter data? Twitter, you can access using Twitter APIs. The data will start pouring into it. Exam. What are the moments of people in study they must be aware of? See, I always believe rather than going behind buzzwords, be strong with any foundation. For example, there are a lot of courses coming specifically on data science and engineering, etc. I feel the fundamental is about, there is a very small misinterpretation. That is like, rather than taking the fundamental, you take a fundamental course, let it be any degree. Once you get finished with it, just work on a company which is niche specific, whether it's telecom, healthcare, or any one particular area and understand the domain solid. That is what is more important. Okay, can we train models using Python, whether it is possible to have incremental calculation? Yes, definitely you can train models using Python. Thank you. Which tool is effective for data science? I always say like, I really love spreadsheet, and as a language, I love Python. How to get social media data? You can go to social media websites and access their APIs. Definitely your data will be there. Means with so will happen if we fail to apply any one techniques. See, there is a question like if we fail to apply any techniques, definitely the outcome will be catastrophic. Is there any legal formality which we need to complete before using these data? Yeah, definitely. All data comes with its own, what to say, you have to sign different NDAs and usage permissions are there. We cannot blindly use all this data. This data analysis generated long is based on problem. Definitely. See, I always say whatever you bring into the table, that data should be legitimate and it should be sensible. It should be correct. If the data is incorrect, ultimately outcome also will be incorrect. Okay. Can this be effective tool to understand the mental aptitude? Definitely, definitely. You can use it for different purpose, whether continuous learning possible. Yes, continuous learning is definitely possible. Which course do you recommend? I always recommend Python because that's my favorite language. Supervised learning, how can we know that our predicted outcome best? Okay, this is one very interesting thing I can see. Like most people think when they build a predictive model and they get an outcome of 90% accuracy. I have seen in most of my like employees doing it, they work on these things and they bring up different scores. But one problem, what happens is they will just comment, okay, sir, it is 90% accuracy it's giving, but why you are not accepting? I say in the real world situation, the 90% scoring algorithm will be very irrelevant. Maybe the one which is scoring 20% will be the right one. You need to do feature engineering and hyperparameter tuning and do a lot of study onto it and to make the model perfect. How can I decide which model should be used to? So it's about, you need to know overall idea about data science first. So we are conducting different types of boot camps in the upcoming days. Different types of boot camp in the sense of using a better tools and how to make data understanding better. Like a lot more boot camps are yet to come. So I can share the link after this to everyone. So you can just have a look onto it. As you mentioned, there is module ML. So is there any possibility to create? Yes, there are a lot more modules you can create it. We ourselves has created a lot more modules. Python or R programming, which one is better for teaching to students? I would say R is easy for teaching data analysis, but once you build anything on Python, it is highly productionable. That's the only difference. Both are the same. For teaching purpose, I would recommend go for R. How to improve decision making from data. Decision making from data will be more dependent on how much you know about that domain. So if you know the domain better, then you can definitely do it. How pattern recognition plays a role. Then definitely data science is all about pattern recognition, but in different format. Can you tell something more about graph data science, use graph? Yes, graph data science is like very simple thing. As you could have seen the example which I've shown for this Game of Thrones. The same way data is being put into different nodes. Now, when it is in the form of graph, it is pretty easy to do any kind of thing like recommendation, understanding similar people, similar clusters, etc. How to improve? Okay, any free course do you recommend to learn from? See, I would say a lot of courses in Coursera and institutions like the MES, as well as all different institutions are giving certification, etc. and all. See to it like whether those curriculum really matters and matches with you, then go forward. But it is about, I will say, data science is all about practice. It's like rigorously you have to practice, and every day we ourselves don't call ourselves a data scientist because we are data practitioners. Every day data is changing, different types of data comes into the picture. So we are finding different ways to solve it. Yeah. Okay. So let me share you the links for feedback. And for my further webinars, I'm putting both the link in this chat box. You can find it here. Just so please make sure that, okay, I think I got it. Sorry, I will put it for all, everyone in the waiting room. For meeting also, I'll put it. Okay, so kindly leave your feedbacks because we made our system automated such a way that once you give the feedback, only automatically your certificates get dispatched. And stay connected. I think I'm clear. Most of queries I've been answering. Is there any more queries? Any more queries for me?
Yes, Robins.
Yes, sir.
Bastin.
Yes, sir.
So this is Sonali, sir.
Yes, sir.
You have missed 2-3 questions which are related or which were asked from our college.
Okay.
which I would really be interested to ask you again.
Definitely. I'll be happy to.
Our college is basically a science college which is teaching biological, physical, and chemical sciences apart from mathematical and statistics.
Okay.
So the questions that were raised was, can we use this data science for chemical, biological, and physical sciences, and how to use them?
Okay, so let me tell you one very interesting thing. Like my mentor, actually, he's one of the top 10 data scientists in India. His name is Mr. Anand Subramaniam, and he's basically from IIT Madras. He's from chemical engineering department.
I see.
So I feel in the data science field, more of chemical and life science people are really shining a lot than any other field. So this is my personal finding, which I've really gone through. Most of people I've went through and I've seen are from life science backgrounds and specifically on domain-rich platforms. Even I can say data science is about old wine in the new bottle. Old wine is the statistics. Now it is in the new bottle. Yeah.
So can we have seminars or webinars, data science, which are directly related to physical or chemical sciences?
Definitely, we will just keep you updated. Like you can put it on the MES website also for any kind of such kind of things comes. So let everyone can even join there. So feedback link, most people are asking. Let me in the meeting. I'll put it. This is the webinar link, or even I can share my screen so you people can note it down. This is the link. It's 36 M I or yeah I small f small v and capital Y. You can take a screenshot. That's the most easiest way I can say. So, any questions for me? Any queries?
Can you please unmute our principal, Professor Buchade sir, if he has to say something?
Sure, sir. Let me unmute. Basically, he's not there in this.
Okay.
Okay, what is the feedback link? Okay, where can you get updates on the forum? Okay, I'm just sharing the link for all this thing. See, I can share the screen so you can get details for the future thing. It's like cleverinsight.co/webinars. If you visit cleverinsight.co/webinars, you can get all the updates on the future webinars and all the boot camps, whatever we are planning. We are planning boot camps on machine learning, deep learning, and more on data analytics using Excel and natural language processing. We are having one more bootcamp on intuitive data decision making using NLP on 6th July as well. So these details are provided in cleverinsight.co/webinars. And for the feedbacks, I've shared the link. And if you don't have the links, kindly reach to us. Okay. Let me once again post it. You can see the chat list, the webinar, all the feedbacks. I'm just posting here. Any questions for me? I hope everyone are here. Let me check it out. Yes, once the sessions are over, like we will notify regarding this. Most of things are little confidential, so I have to keep little. All the slides won't be able to won't be visible, but yes, I will do it. We rely on prediction tools for prediction of medical image. Yes, we basically CLEVERINSIGHT is a company which is purely a data science company. We have our own platform called Neuron AI, which does most of our tasks. So it does a lot of recommendation engines as well as prediction and building deep neural networks. We are working very intensively on healthcare areas. Yes. Can you share the nice? Thank you. Thank you. Great.
Fine then.
Fine, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you once again.
Whatever questions are there, they can directly send to you if they have any other questions.
Yeah.
We can end this session by a simple vote of thanks.
Yes, sir. Please.
Sure. Okay. So, on behalf of MES Abasaheb Garware College principal and the IQAC, I thank you very much for accepting our invitation and hosting this excellent webinar on data science. The name, which was very apt, Data Science Simplified, you have given this knowledge in such a simplified way that even our non-scientific or non-mathematical teachers or students would also have been very much interested in this. The examples that you have put up, the lectures, the presentations that were excellent, you have very simply showed how data is converted into information, then into knowledge, and how it becomes a wisdom. All the examples that you put up were excellent, right from the beginning about the doctors, the truck drivers, the shoppers, the networking, how to find out the best, programmer or whatever you want to find out. So we came to know how these things work and how one is shortlisted for a particular job. So which were completely unknown. Otherwise, we are all doing hand job. So now we can use this technique to shortlist all our programmers or teachers or maybe students or whatever. So it will be very, very important for us. Most importantly is that you told us that data tells us a story only if you are interested to unravel it.
Exactly.
I think that today everybody must have understood that data is a story and everybody should try to unravel it in their own way, depending upon their passion or depending upon their thing. Okay? So I thank you very much, but only I would say that you have taken the soup to our lips, but did not allow us to drink it. I hope we will do it in our next webinar or so. So the exciting still remains, and I hope we associate in future too.
Yes.
So thank you very much. I thank my principal, our vice principals, all our faculty members, and all the dear participants from all over this country who have joined for this webinar. They have put up very excellent questions, and I hope they are satisfied by the answers that you have put up. Yeah. Please fill the feedback form, because after filling the feedback form, only you are going to get the e-certificate, as he has very clearly mentioned it. So all those who have registered for this webinar may please fill the feedback form in order to get the e-certificate. Yeah. So I thanks once again Bastin Robins and all the participants for enjoying this beautiful lecture.
Thank you, sir. It was my pleasure that conducting one session in Pune, and I'm pretty much very happy and very proud to be a part of this particular event, and I'm very much happy to do a lot more in the future as well. So before ending up, let me again conclude with a few more words that please don't run behind buzzwords. See, whatever you're having is already rock solid knowledge. Be very strong in it and use data as an essential point of it. Just like when computer science came, everyone wanted to become a computer science engineer. Rather than using that computer science for their own domain, they want to go to that particular thing. So I feel whichever domain it is, be very strong in it and use these technologies in your own domain. That is the fundamental. Fine. Tools will come and go. One tool will come today, tomorrow it will go, but techniques will remain strong. So keep strong with fundamentals, foundations. And next thing is, I'm once again sharing you the link of all these things in the chat. Please don't put any chat anymore, because when you are putting more chats, the link is becoming more upper and upper, so others cannot see. So once again, I'll share it here. For all the details, kindly put all your messages into that chat. Fine? Yes. So thank you, sir. And recorded session are there. We will be informing in their website itself. If you visit this particular website, you will get the link for it. Not today, by tomorrow or day after tomorrow.
Sure.
And certificate will be received to you tomorrow or today. Thank you. Thank you one and all for all the cooperation.
You can end the session now.
Thank you.